Today we're talking about AWS Glue. Here's what we're going to cover. What AWS Glue is and what ETL means, the key components, the data catalog, crawlers, and jobs, how Glue automatically discovers and catalogs your data, the common use cases, and pricing. So AWS Glue is a fully managed ETL service. ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. Think of it like a data cleaning and moving service. Glue has three main components. The AWS Glue Data Catalog. Think of this like a metadata repository. It's basically a giant index of all your data. It stores the table definitions, the schema information, where your data is located, and the data types and structure. So it's like a library card catalog. It doesn't store the actual books, but it tells you what books exist, where they are, and what they're about. The second one is AWS Glue Crawlers. Crawlers automatically scan your data sources and populate the data catalog. You could think of a crawler like a scout that goes out, explores your data, and then reports back with all the details like, here's what I found, here's what it looks like, and here's the structure. You can schedule crawlers to run regularly to pick up new data. The third is AWS Glue Jobs. Jobs are where the actual ETL work happens. This is your transformation logic. You glue jobs, run Apache Spark or Python shell scripts behind the scenes. You can write your own scripts or use Glue's visual ETL editor to drag and drop transformations. Common transformations are filter rows, join data sets, change data types, aggregate data, and remove duplicates. Once the job runs, it outputs the clean transformed data to your target, like S3, Redshift, RDS, or wherever you want. The typical workflow, you have raw data in S3. It could be a CSV, JSON, or whatever. You create a Glue crawler and point it at your S3 bucket. Then the crawler runs, discovers your data, figures out the schema, and creates a table in the data catalog. Step 4 is you create a Glue job that reads from the data catalog and then transforms the data and writes the output to your target destination. The last step is your clean data is now in S3, Redshift, or wherever you need it. Services like Athena can now query it. A real-world use case would be like if you had data in multiple S3 buckets and RDS databases. Then you'd use Glue to extract from all the sources, clean and join the data, and load it into Redshift for analytics. So Glue works with Amazon S3, Redshift, RDS and Aurora, Athena, EMR, DynamoDB, and compatible databases. So for the pricing, the data catalog, the first million objects stored are free, then it's $1 per 100,000 objects per month. And then for crawlers, it's 44 cents per DPU hour, which means data processing unit. And then for the ETL jobs, it's also 44 cents per DPU hour. So most use cases are pretty affordable. You're just paying for compute time when crawlers and jobs run, not for the idle time. So that's AWS Glue, a fully managed ETL service that discovers, catalogs, and transforms your data without managing servers. If you found this helpful, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.